Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says Senate Republicans will support Senator Lisa Murkowski's re-election bid next year. That news comes after former President Trump attacked his Republican critics, including Murkowski, in his CPAC speech over the weekend, calling on the Republican Party to get rid of the GOP lawmakers who voted to impeach him. Here is Senator McConnell.
The NRSC support Lisa Murkowski, despite President Trump saying that they should get rid of all of these Republicans who voted against him on impeachment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you concerned at all that his efforts will hurt her chance to get reelected?
No.
So,
Wow.
Willie Graham may be glad that Donald Trump let him into his life, into his world. I don't think Mitch McConnell really cares. I mean, if you listen to that, yep, we're going to support him. And he can, nope, not going to. I mean, that's the thing people don't understand. Yes, Donald Trump, he can gesture, he can go down, he can give a speech, but then he goes back to Mar-a-Lago. It is Mitch McConnell day in and day out that's running the United States Senate. And people like Ron Johnson can try to swipe at Mitch McConnell. It's just not really a smart political play, because at the end of the day, he's running the Republican Party and he understands, and yes, Liz Cheney in the House understands, that if they're going to have any future, they're going to have to do it in a way that's going to help them, let's just be really blunt, raise money for the next campaign. Because right now, there are so many Republicans who have just disgraced themselves and are still too closely tied to a guy that committed insurrection against the United States of America.
First of all, Joe, I want to thank you for letting me into your life, much like Lindsay with Donald Trump.
Really?
It's meant the world to me.
Thank you as well. Yes. That's.
Can you imagine saying something like that?
It's the other way around. Just really sad.
No, I can't. By the
Who
way,
says that?
And by the way, I don't believe that you're glad to be welcomed into my life any more than I believe that Mike Barnacle really is a normal guy. That would come as breaking news to Ann and all of the kids. But no, you're right, and it's a perfect example, Willie. I mean, just compare and contrast Mitch McConnell, who's actually trying to figure out how to cobble together a majority, and Lindsey Graham, who's trying to stay on the right side of insurrectionists, seditionists, and QAnon people.
Except on January 6th, he pounded the desk and said, "Enough is enough. I'm out of here. I'm out." And now he's back playing golf and grateful for being in his life.
Three people in a Chihuahua chased him through an airport,
and he
completely melted.
That could be scary. Yeah, no, but you're right about Mitch McConnell. Of course, all he is a strategist. He wants to win back the Senate. He wants the House to return to Republican control. He needs votes. That's all he cares about. So he's not going to go down some sentimental road about Donald Trump. He wants to make sure they get enough 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, enough seats to take back control of the Senate. We're talking about Senator Murkowski, who McConnell says he will support. Senator Murkowski is keeping Neera Tanden's hopes, meanwhile, of becoming the director of the Office of Management and Budget alive. For now, Senator Murkowski widely seen as the swing vote that could make or break Tanden's nomination. Yesterday, she told reporters that she and Tanden met face-to-face.
Well, I can tell you that I met with her today, and we had a sit-down meeting, which was good. I haven't had a sit-down meeting in quite a while, but she was in the building and asked if she could come in person. And so I said, sure, come on back.
So, Joe, Senator Murkowski and Neera Tanden had a meeting. Murkowski says she's undecided. Remember, Tanden has sent tweets over the years about Lisa Murkowski, not just Lisa Murkowski, but other votes that she would need to be confirmed. What's your take on this? Is Murkowski still a holdout, really? Do you think there's a chance she might vote for Tanden despite everything?
I mean, this is an easy one. I mean, if you just look at politics, and if you want to remove Neera Tanden and mean tweets and Lisa Murkowski, I can just tell you, this is an easy one. At least in my day, people would be lining up like around the White House going, okay, yeah, I'll vote for her. Yeah, by the way, the hurricanes really messed up some small businesses in Northwest Florida, and I'm worried about that. But we can talk about that later. But let's talk about Neera Tanden now. Why is this so? I mean, this is so easy for her. Like a mean tweet? Oh, you said a mean tweet about me? Okay, great. Can I get something for Alaska?
Yep.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.